Okay, let's go.
We all get angry, right? It's just a part of life. But what if the very question we ask, how do I control my anger, is, well, completely the wrong question? Today, we're going to explore a totally different way of understanding this powerful emotion, one that might just change your relationship with it forever. So let's start with the question we all ask. How can I just avoid getting angry? We spend so much energy trying to manage situations, avoid people who trigger us, and sidestep any kind of conflict. But is avoidance even the right goal here? Well, it turns out the problem might be the question itself. And to really understand why, let's use a simple but really powerful analogy that's going to flip this whole thing on its head. Okay, I want you to really picture this. You're behind the wheel, you're driving down a super busy city street. You know the scene. There's traffic everywhere, pedestrians, just chaos. You have to be totally alert, completely focused. As you're driving, you are actively avoiding real physical obstacles on the road with you. You've got those awkwardly placed medians, you've got bad drivers cutting you off, maybe even people just darting out into the street. These are tangible threats you have to react to. But here's a kind of weird question for you. While you're busy dodging all that chaos on the street, do you ever have to swerve to avoid hitting the moon? I know, it sounds ridiculous, right? But that question highlights this crucial difference. There are things that are on the street with you that demand your action, and then there are things that just exist, completely separate from the problem you're dealing with.
Of course not. You don't try to avoid the moon because the moon isn't on the street. It exists, sure, but you're not going to collide with it. Now, here's the big idea. What if we've been treating our anger like it's another car on the road when it's actually the moon?
And that is the critical shift in perspective we need to make. For so long, we've treated anger like it's a bad driver, some external threat that we have to dodge. But the truth is, anger is the moon. It's not out there at all. Just let this one sink in for a second. Anger is not an entity. It's not a thing that's just sitting somewhere waiting for you to bump into it. It is a state that you enter. You become angry. This idea changes everything. If anger isn't an external force, then trying to avoid it is as pointless as trying to avoid the moon while you're driving. It's a useless exercise because the source of the anger isn't outside of you. It's something you are generating from within. So, let's be totally honest with ourselves. When you generate this state, when you become angry, how does that actually feel? Is it a pleasant experience for you? Or is it deeply, deeply unpleasant? We all know the answer. It's unpleasant, it's stressful, it's exhausting, it just feels bad. But the consequences go so much deeper than just a feeling. We are literally doing something to ourselves in those moments. And this isn't just some philosophical idea anymore. Medical science can now prove what we've kind of known for centuries. When you're angry, your body releases a cocktail of chemicals that is effectively a poison to your own system. You are causing yourself harm on a biological level. And that leads us to the next very logical question. If you know you're creating this horrible feeling for yourself, and you know you're literally poisoning your own body, why would you ever choose to do it? Well, the answer is pretty simple, and it's also a little unsettling. We don't choose to do it. It just happens. It happens because the most sophisticated piece of machinery on the planet, our own mind, is just running on autopilot. This whole self-poisoning thing, it's not a conscious act. It's an accident. It's what happens when your mind is not taking instructions from you, the one who's supposed to be in charge. It's just reacting automatically to stuff. I mean, just think about it. If your mind took your instructions perfectly, what would you tell it to do? You'd say, be blissful, be peaceful. You would never, ever say, okay, now it's time to get angry and create a bunch of poison. The very fact that it does the opposite of what you actually want proves that it's not really under your control. So this is the fundamental problem. Our inner faculties aren't being directed by us. They're just on a hair trigger, reacting to whatever happens in the outside world. If things are good, we feel good. If things are bad, we feel bad. We're basically puppets, and the world is pulling our strings. We're living by accident. But, and this is so important, it doesn't have to be this way. Just recognizing this problem is the very first step toward a huge shift in how we experience life. It's about moving from being a reactor to being a creator. You see, right now, for most people, the reality is this. The outside situation dictates the inside experience. The world happens to us, and our consciousness is just the byproduct of all those external events. But that is a fundamentally broken way to live.
It's a complete reversal of how things are meant to work for a conscious human being. We are so much more than just a collection of reactions.
This is the profound alternative. Instead of the outside world creating your inner state should determine your experience of the outside world. This is the goal, to create your experience from the inside out.
This is what it's all about. To get to a place where your own inner well-being is so stable, so self-generated, that no matter what's happening on the outside, you stay steady. And when you are fundamentally good on the inside, everything around you starts to become good as well, because your experience of it is good.
So, I'm going to leave you with this final thought to carry with you. Are you content to just be a product of your world, tossed around by whatever circumstances come your way? Or are you ready to decide that your world is going to become a product of you? The choice, when you really get down to it, is yours.